Yay! Welcome back to your favorite cooking channel where we keep it simple and real. Yep, cooking with Abba. And I'm so glad you're able to join in today. Please just don't watch. Please make sure you do subscribe. Make sure you do like. Make sure you leave a comment. Make sure you leave a suggestion. And let's go into today's video. So yeah, we're going to another breakfast recipe. Well, sometimes you eat in the evening, no. Yeah, I like eating it in the evening, pa. So this is Ekuegbemi Oblayo. Yes. So Ekuegbemi is a smooth one, and then the Oblayo is the rocks. Yes. So the rocks is also great, what you can call great in English. So this is a beautiful one, Charlie. In the morning, in the evening, you can chop it. So you need your corn. Yes, this is your crushed corn, and it has been unhusked. So the husk is not there. So you need to wash it thoroughly. See, there are a bit of chaff on it. So you need to wash about 3-4 times just to get the chaff away, and then the extra starch or dirt. You know, in the marketplace, you can't always trust it to go without dust. So just wash it more than once to get most of the dirt out. And when you're done, you want to pre-soak this. You can try to soak with hot water. You can just soak with your warm water. If you're soaking with warm water, do it for a longer period of time. Yes, if you're soaking with hot water, it's going to save your time. You're going to have shorter time. So I soaked this overnight. Yes. And then I just bring it to boil. So it's simple like that. For the Ekuegbemi, you're going to need the smooth powdered form of the corn. That's what you're going to use. And you're going to use just a little bit of it to also thicken it. So I'm going to show you 2 ways you could do your Oblayo. Yes, so I split it into 2 so you could have a look at the end how both ways are going to do. So there was one with just the rocks in there. There was less of the stock around, which was not thickened. Yes. And then there was one which I thickened the sauce around it. So to thicken the sauce around it, obviously you're going to use a smooth corn powder. So sometimes when you buy it, you have a bit of it in. But for Ekuegbemi, all you need is a smooth corn powder. Yes. So for the thickening, I had about 1.5 to 2 tablespoons. I added in enough water in there. And you realize I used just half cup of the grit, the Oblayo Bruno, but a 2-pound. So you should know that this one, dear, is a hunger friend. So you need to mix it nicely for it to come together. Make sure it dissolves perfectly before you introduce it into your Oblayo mix. That's one thing to note. So once that is done, I'm just going to go ahead and pour it into the mixture. At this point, the corn was getting soft. You don't do it at the initial stages. You do it when it's almost cooked. So about 5 minutes to finish cooking. When it's almost soft, then you add it in, and you add in your salt to taste. I did same for the other one too, which was just the corn with its water. Then I gave it a good mix. So you need to be mixing this up for the Ekuegbemi mixture to form nicely around it, and that's what is going to thicken your Oblayo. Yes, when you buy Oblayo, you just won't see rocks, but you see some smooth part of it. And for my Ekuegbemi, what I did was I added in water. You need enough water because a 2-pound, especially for yellow corn. When you do yellow corn, it's going to rise a lot. That's the beauty of yellow corn. Using yellow corn is like using 2 Jimmy rice. You're going to get double. So you need to add in a bit more water. Yeah, so this is one way I go by it. You can try to spice this up a bit. You could add in a bit of ginger, some local spices to your Ekuegbemi. Nothing stops you from going that way. You can add in your cloves with your rentia, a bit of black pepper to spice your Ekuegbemi. It tastes super nice. And for that one too, once it's mixed with my water, I'm just going to add in some salt to taste, a little bit of salt to taste. And I'm going to give it some good stir, especially at start. And like I was telling you, you need more water in there. But don't overly use the water. If you're taking a part of the Ekuegbemi, take about 2 to 3 parts of water. Once you're doing it and it becomes too tough, you can always introduce more water. It's better than having it too runny. Now I'm quite sure. So you just need to be stirring, especially at the initial stages. If you don't stir this, what's going to happen is that the corn will settle at the base and the water will be on top. And when you begin to mix it, it will form lumps and that's the sad thing. So you need to make sure that before it forms, you don't stop stirring. You need to stir it well till it forms beautifully. Else it's going to settle at the base and it's going to be another story altogether. And you realize my Ekuegbemi is already looking mwah, mwah, mwah. And my Oblayo dear, see the Oblayo, how it is just smiling at you. Is it not smiling at you? Yay. So you need to mix. Cocoa be idea. When you know. So yes, you just need to be stirring. As you're stirring, you can sing some of your nursery rhymes. And stir to just keep you fun and happy. You know that thing. Yeah. So this is simple to do, just that it may take a bit of time. That's the reality. Ekuegbemi, not all my time. For Ekuegbemi, you can use about 15 minutes to do your Ekuegbemi recipe, because you need to mix it well and let it stay on fire for a while so the corn will soften well. If you rush this up, the corn, you finish and you feel it's a bit rough and uncooked in your mouth. So for me, I would say 10 to 15 minutes is good for your Ekuegbemi. For your Oblayo, dear, you need time for it. Let me be very honest. So the Oblayo, you need time for it. You may, if you don't take care, you can even use like a whole hour cooking it up, because the corn is very, 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 very dried. So for me, some days, what I even do, one hack I do is that I boil the corn, let's say before I sleep. Then when I'm sleeping, I leave it. I put it off. So by morning, make sure there's enough water on it. By morning, when you wake up, not it would have softened and risen. So you realize that the corn becomes softer. Then I finish cooking it up in the morning. So when I've really meant to eat Oblayo, that is how I go about it. That's one hack trick I use. So yes, you can try my trick if you're a busy mom or something, or you love Oblayo so much and you don't have the time for it. So you just pre-cook it a bit in the evening. Just let it have enough water on top. When you're done, cover it, put your fire off. By morning, it's going to rise up beautifully. It's going to soften beautifully. Then you finish your cooking. Yes. So that is about your Oblayo, especially when it's on large scale. And realize once your cocoa is bubbling, then you're literally there. But don't make it too thick, because when you're done, you need it to cool a bit. And when it cools, it's going to increase. That's the thing. The corn in there is going to absorb more of the water. So if you make it too tough, when it cools down, it becomes too stiff. It becomes too heavy. We don't want cocoa like that. Cocoa, they are supposed to be a bit runny. Yes, so not too runny, but then it's supposed to flow, kind of. It's not supposed to be too viscous. So this is about Ekuegbemi and Oblayo. See how it is bubbling. It's just beautiful. Yes, this is one of the beauties in the kitchen. When you see this thing, it'll make you smile a bit. But then we're going to give it a stir as well. I told you it's all about stirring though. Cocoa be idea stirring on now anything. So once it's all come to cook, you realize, yay, even from the ladle, you realize the base, what is sticking to it, is soft. Yes. But basically, like cooking cocoa and you see so much bubbles, then you're literally done. That's the thing. That's one trick about doing cocoa. We are doing cocoa and you see that the bubbles are plenty inside. I bang. So if you're not good with cocoa, this is one trick you can use. And when you feel it in your palm, it shouldn't be so gritty. It should be more smooth, more soft, and more fine, even though it's coarse. So that's a trick to know that your Ekuegbemi is done. And when it's done, I always say cover it up, put the fire off, let it sit on the fire for about 2-3 minutes. It's not going to toughen too much, but then it's going to form beautifully. Yes, whenever I cook it, don't serve it hot like that. Just let it sit on for about 2-3 minutes. It's not going to go cold. And when you serve it, you feel it. So see my oblayo, see it too. See it too. See it too. It is not nsio. It is not too thick. It is just mwah, mwah, mwah. If you've been to any Ghanaian SS, you would love this recipe. It's a lifesaver. And if you're like me, or my mom, or my family folks, we in the evening we like to eat this before we sleep. Yes, so this is a cool meal to try. Yes, in the morning, when you are maybe fasting, you're breaking. Charlie, this one is a must try. See my oblayo. See my Ekuegbemi. See it. Just see it. Just see it. You see how it says it's not too runny. It's thick enough. You realize that, it will texture and it will form. So I was telling you, the trick is that when you're done cooking it, let it cool a bit in the saucepan. Not so cold. Yes, you don't serve your food cold. But let it sit for about 2-3 minutes and you realize that it does a super wonderful trick. And you see the oblayo without the thickening. So yes, you can serve your Ekuegbemi, your oblayo. You can serve it with your sweetener of your choice, with your milk of your choice, and some granules. A breading cassia there, a copper.